That's powerful to know, right? So we have information, right? So you're empowered now. You have this information. You can go back and look at the checklist and say, okay, well, the computer is saying that Russia's going to fall first, and then Iran is going to fall. The next question you have to ask yourself is, would Trump make a deal with Putin after October 7th? Has something changed? Putin and Trump. Has something changed? And if something has changed, what has changed? Do you think that Netanyahu, we'll call him Bibi because it's easier to pronounce, right? Bibi means my friend. My friend, Bibi. Habibi in Arabic, right? Habibi. My mate, baby, right? So he's not your friend. Yeah, I hear you. So we have this triad, right? Putin, Trump, and Bibi. So I guess now I would like you to ask yourselves, what do you think the relationship right now is between Putin and Bibi? They got a copy of this, December 21st, 2023. So they've had since December 21st, 2023 to challenge this data, and so far they're following it. And Iran's proxy armies in Syria has since fallen. It's not looking too good, people. It's not looking too good. Not looking too good. December 21st, 2023. They knew that Putin had to be arrested and tried in Hague sooner rather than later. They can't get him in the Hague, but they can assassinate him, at the very least, dismantle him, dismantle Iranian leadership. So what does that tell you about Trump's presidency? Does Trump have any future relationship with Putin? Is Kushner and Netanyahu going to let him have a relationship with Putin if Putin is responsible for the October 7th massacre? You're smart people. What do you think changed in the relationship between Putin and Trump? Dun 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 bum bum cha 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 bum da da da. Okay, October 7th. That's all you have to know. The world changed after October 7th. It was September 11th times 100, right? If you're looking at a population of only 8 million people and you lose 1,100 to terrorism and another couple hundred get kidnapped and raped, then you're talking about, if you were to multiply that by, well, you divide that by 340 million to give you the size of the United States, and then multiply that by that number, 1,100, that gives you a rough idea of what it would be equivalent to in terms of an American massacre. We're talking about, 50 to 100,000 people dead and 20,000 kidnapped, at your border invaded by a hostile army. What would the United States do? Well, they would be in all-out war trying to get their family members back, right? So, and then the United States would do everything in their power to find out who was responsible. And that is exactly what we're seeing. And Putin was at those meetings. Putin was the one having those meetings with Hamas, planning it. And so what that tells us is that dun, 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 in walks a very strange, then a strange series of events start to happen, don't they? A strange series of events start to happen after October 7th. People start to show up concerned about what's going on, right? Meetings start to take place about the rebuild. People that then start to endorse Trump and put $250 million towards Trump's campaign. Where'd the money come from? It came from a PAC. But who were the secret donors that were part of that PAC? Was all the money public? Or could the money have come possibly from our own government? Could we be looking at a CIA op? Is that what we're looking at? Are we looking at a CIA op taking over the GOP? I wonder. Let's talk about it. Why is this person meeting with Iran? Why? Why would these people be getting together talking about the rebuild after it happens? That's great, by the way, that they want to do a rebuild. But what's that got to do with meeting with Iran? Who are these people? Really? Who are these people? I wonder. But here's what I know for sure. I know that even if some Democrats thought the Oasis One project was the greatest idea in the world, there are a lot of Democrats that would tell you we can't do it because we would receive too much criticism from within our own ranks, from the Arab lobby, from certain peace groups, because when you're fighting terrorists, you've got to be a really, you've got to do some vicious things, right? You've got to kill people, right? So theoretically, if you were a Democrat, you wouldn't be able to get behind this because people are going to die. So what would you do theoretically? You would have another group come in that would dismantle MAGA, and then they could implement Oasis One because it's too hot a potato for the Democrats. Hot potato, hot potato. I don't want to be in the middle of this. So it's never going to happen with the Democrats. As much as I want it to happen under the Democrats, it's never going to happen under the Democrats. So you let this wingnut come in who's not afraid to do something radical. And yeah. The Republicans are going to do what the Democrats cannot do. So, and they'll have, they'll do it under Trump. They'll rebuild. Trump cannot have a future relationship with. I'm not in the slightest bit worried about his relationship with Putin because he knows his relationship with Putin is over. For starters, there's a new kid in town. He doesn't owe money anymore because his bills have probably been paid off by Elon Musk, right? So now he's beholden to Elon Musk and he's beholden to the rebuild, and they're done with Putin. So I don't know. I just think it's going to be crazy. I think we're going to see. I think we're as early. Look, they're itching to start this rebuild. So I think we're probably going to see more about it in the next couple of months. And I don't think he's going to have I don't think Putin is going to get anything he wants because, look, you don't attack Israel and massacre and rape people and light them on fire and then expect the Israelis to go and have a. Of course, we're going to get behind Zelensky. His campaign was funded by Aronofsky, right? Who is Aronofsky? The oligarch, right? So the oligarch who is the Ukrainian oligarch that are supporting Zelensky are also Israelis, and so they're going to go with Zelensky, who by default is an Israeli, because all Jewish people are Israelis, right? By default, if you're born Jewish, you're by default an Israeli. So that's why I'm not concerned about the future relationship between Trump and Putin.